to This Week at Chelsea, the series where we delve into all things Chelsea related over the last week or so. There's plenty to go through. People leaving, people injured, people potentially coming back, and a whole host of other bits and pieces to get through. So before we begin, please do like the video, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content on the channel. And with that said, as always, let's get into it. It has been a week to forget. I was going to say a week to remember. We're never going to forget it realistically. Knocked out of the FA Cup to summarise the week. The bad points anyway. Knocked out of the FA Cup, end of last week, but also obviously losing quite severely to Arsenal the other day. Still sore, still really is sore. And something that is even more sore will be our beloved general, just has come in, done everything he needs to do. Can't really fault the guy. Even more so when you factor in his age, Thiago Silva. Well, unfortunately, or fortunately, well, there's no fortune to it, but it's unfortunate. He has had his time at the club. And it has been confirmed that Thiago Silva will leave Chelsea as a free agent at the end of the season, as confirmed or reported as in association with Fabrizio Romano, I suppose. The decision has been made and is going to be confirmed soon. He rejected proposals in January to stay and help Chelsea until the end. Thiago Silva has Fluminense interest since a long time, but keeping all of his options open. So realistically, he's been linked with them for a long time, and it seems as though he's going to be going back to them. Obviously, weird to think with Thiago Silva that he has played at Chelsea the second longest amount of time out of all the teams he's played for. Fluminense, AC Milan, PSG, and of course Chelsea. He's been here since 2020. Honours include the Champions League, the Super Cup, the World Cup. He never managed to win the FA Cup, and he never managed to win the Carabao Cup. 4 finals overall in the domestic title races, and never really, unfortunately, managed to get it. Looking at his career stats, he's only played 7 games more for Chelsea than he has for Fluminense. So if he was to return, obviously that would switch around. And it being his childhood club at the very beginning of his senior career, it would only be right that he ends it there. Do you know what I mean? So a bit of a sad one to start on, but you know, it's certainly been quite the career for Thiago Silva, not just at Chelsea, but also, you know, overall for him. In total, I don't know. I don't necessarily think he's going to be like a huge miss. He will in instances, but I think that his time, it has come to an end, I would say. If we could get 2020 and 2021 Thiago Silva back, that would be fantastic. But sadly, that is not the case. Obviously, wish him the best in the future, and wish him the best in what seems to be his running down of 39 years of age. Jesus Christ. And up next, we have Enzo Fernandez news, and it is, I don't know if it's as bad as it could have. Well, it should have been a lot earlier in the season that this should have happened, but obviously we're so sparse. With a scarce as well with the amount of players that we have at our disposal to play at the moment, I suppose. And so Enzo Fernandez has had to take one for the team and continue to play despite his hernia issue, of which he has undertaken surgery. It says Enzo Fernandez had surgery for the inguinal I don't know if I'm being a bit of a, hernia, basically, after suffering pain in the recent weeks. And his season at Chelsea has been considered over. Enzo is expected to be 100% fit for the Copa America and next season. I will go on record to say that I'm not impressed with his performances overall since he's come. And obviously, this has come to light that he has been dealing with this. And I'm seeing a lot of people saying you should be ashamed of yourself for criticizing him. He's been not very good, despite his injury. If he's that bad, we shouldn't be playing him. But we have forced it. And this is no disrespect to Enzo, because obviously he has been, I'd say, forced. He's obviously been saying, I'll play if you give me the injections and all that sort of thing. But to use that as a full-on excuse that, you know, this is exactly the reason why he hasn't got the ball on target. He had a chance against Arsenal that he should have got it at least on target and should have scored. No, it's his hernia. He misplaced pass after misplaced pass after misplaced pass. No, it's his hernia. You can't use that as the solitary excuse for his poor performances. And if that is the case, he shouldn't be playing in the first place, which I know that's not down to him necessarily. He could have said, I want to get the surgery sooner rather than later. But overall, it's a slight. It's an excuse. It is an excuse, and I really, truthfully hope and pray that we get the Enzo that we were sort of promised when we bought him. Once the surgery is healed and he's back from the Copa America, hopefully nothing happens there, and we get a fully 100% fit Enzo Fernandez, tip-top Magoo, the best he can possibly be. And I'm not gonna go back on anything I've said just because he's got this issue. I understand that might seem like I'm not willing to admit that I was wrong, but there is nothing to admit that he's wrong. He's been shit, as a matter of fact, he's not been consistent, he's not been good, and if it is down to that, why has he been playing? It's poor man management once again. This is one of the reasons why we have so many injuries. If we're just allowing players to play with injections, he's, 21 years of age? Is he 21? Enzo Fernandez, 23, sorry. I just don't understand why he's been allowed to play like this. And just my opinion, I know this is going to come across of like, yeah, heartless bastard. You can't give him the benefit of the doubt. What benefit of the doubt? What? So when he's been good, the hernia hasn't played an impact on that at all. But when he's been bad, it's the hernia. I'm understanding that he's been going through a lot of pain and everything like that, and that shouldn't have been the case. He shouldn't have been playing. He should have had the surgery. And I'm not telling him that he should have got the surgery. It's the team. It's the man management. It's the fitness department once again allowing these sort of things to happen. I don't know. Let me know. What are your thoughts? And a strange one, but not so strange at all. I'll just go with it, shall I? Most Chelsea players, is being reported, that they want Pochettino to stay, believing that he has shielded them and worked to foster a good team spirit. Pochettino believes his methods will reap rewards in the second season like they did at Spurs. A bit of is it an oxymoron? What is the term? Let me know in the comments for something that isn't true. Like, it's a lie, first of all. Reap the rewards, sure, I guess did all right here and there, but overall, he never won anything, did he? So I'd reap the rewards. I get what he's trying to say, but it's a bit like, okay. If we are to reap the rewards of that second season Spurs, I don't really want him to stay because he won fuck all. Of course, they want him to stay. They get away with murder under him. Let's be honest. They get, you can argue about this and that and everything else. And he's like, yep, just do what you want. Do you really think that they're going to want a hard-hitting, demanding manager instead of a glorified childminder? And I know that sounds kind of harsh, but that's pretty much what he's been this season. He's let them get away with absolute murder. And then gone back, and it's the same old excuse every single week. I feel like I'm not hitting the mark on a lot of the stuff I'm saying today. Or I think I am, but I can imagine a lot of people are like, you're not really there today, mate. But I'm just saying what I think. I think he's been nothing short of a glorified childminder this year. And then every time things go wrong, it's because they're young or they're inexperienced. But then when they're good, they're a good young side. They're showing potential, and it's I I don't know. Never hold. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But it's so clear to me as to why the younger player or the team as a whole would want Pochettino to stay. As fans, we don't see anything. We don't see the at this point in the season, I don't see the process. I don't see it. They must see something completely different in training. We see them in training, and they always seem to be fucking about doing something. And he just yeah, do what you want. Do it. He's an enabler, it seems, to like their childish sort of mannerisms and their childish behaviours. He just, because he's so good with the youth, I suppose, he just allows them to do what they want, and it's not reaping any benefits at the moment, is it? I don't think. I'm a bit pissed off today, if you couldn't tell. On to the next. And what a doozy it is! What a doozy it is. Well, I mean, Romelu Lukaku maybe, just maybe, returning to Chelsea as of next season. I mean, technically, he will be returning at the end of next season because his loan is expiring. Where is he going to come? He's going to come back here. Pochettino has said on the matter at the beginning of the week that, the loan is expiring in June. He's a Chelsea player after all, so for sure we will pay attention. It's an option, but still we did not take any decisions so far about Lukaku. Obviously, in last month, when he was here playing against, I can't remember who it was, but he was asked by the media, do you want to impress every time you're coming back to England? Oh, it was for Belgium, wasn't it? It was for Belgium. And he said, you'll have to ask Chelsea, whilst making a sort of sly smile. And no one really seemed to understand what that meant as a, well, you'll have to ask Chelsea, or you'll have to ask Chelsea because I want to come back. I didn't really understand the cadence or the intent with what he was saying, but it's I feel like there's as much likelihood him wanting to come back or to actually come back as there is Thomas Tuchel. I just don't think the relationship's there. I don't think there's any possibility of Tuchel or Lukaku coming back and it working in terms of an agreement being made and you're back. I just don't see the case. Do I want a striker like Lukaku at this point? Jackson ain't cutting it. He just ain't cutting it anymore. And I think one season with Lukaku, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But what genuinely, other than him coming out in the media saying how much he hates Chelsea and all this bollocks, what is the worst that could happen? And I know there's so many things that could go wrong that we just cannot foresee. But my God, it's worth giving it a go, I think. I think that's how desperate we have become. I think that's how desperate we have become as a fan base, as a club, as a business. I don't see how Todd Boehly wouldn't see that and think, we've got to try and get him on our good side once again, because he's a striker. We're lacking a striker. He's on the books. He's already getting paid. Why would we not just give it a go instead of spending 90, 100, 120 million on Victor Osimhen, who it seems as though it's pretty obvious we're not going to be getting him at this point. I don't know. Let me know. Would you let Lukaku come back? It's a 50-50 for me. If he doesn't come back, I don't care. If he does, I think it could be pretty funny. Do you know what I mean? At this point, we are a laughing stock after all. With that said, that's all the topics covered for this week at Chelsea. As always, please do smash the like button, hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content on the channel, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I messed that one up, but you know what I'm trying to say. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments down below. As always, my name is Harry, up the Chelsea. And on to the next week. Goodbye.